What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be discussing the Berean Study Bible. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Steve. Thanks for stopping by. While you're here, you're going to get encouraged and equipped to be the Christian you claim to be. We're going to do that by going through scripture and doctrine and reviewing solid tools and resources to help make your day-to-day better and more Christ-focused. If that sounds like something you're interested in, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the new videos coming out. And let's get into it. So first of all, before we jump over to the table and take a look at this Bible, this is a brand new translation. The Bereans, what is a Berean? Why is it named Berean? So the Bereans were residents of Berea in the city of Berea in Macedonia. They're brought up in Acts 17 during Paul's second missionary journey. I'm going to include a link down to Got Questions because I think that gotquestions.org answered this question, who were the Bereans, pretty well. And so I'll leave a link to that article down in the description for you if you want to read a little bit more. This translation of the Bible, again, a pretty new translation. There's a couple of new translations out. One of their main focuses, main reasons, is not only to be an accurate translation to the Hebrew and the Greek, but it's free licensing and free downloads. You're not going to run into trouble making photocopies and using the text in, let's say, your Sunday school class or your church. And we're going to take a look at that. The first couple of pages, they actually say that right there. When you buy one of these, you get free licensing. There is an app. Bible Hub has worked with them, and you can use their app and you can use their translation without having to go through legal hassles or legal trouble with copyright laws and infringements. And that's important. Their goal, I believe, as I read through their website, is to spread the gospel and to do that in every way, shape, and form that they can. So we're going to jump over to the table and take a look through this Bible and show you what you're going to get. Okay, so this is the hardcover Berean Study Bible. I'll drop a link to where it's available. It's only, I believe that the website's name is BereanBibles.com. It's only available there at the moment, but they continue to add tiers, and I'll talk to you about that in just a minute. But this is the hardcover. For those of you that know me, if it's not going to be a daily use Bible, I tend to pick the hardcover because they stand up on a shelf very nicely. And this was only $29. It really is inexpensive. They do have a soft cover, and it's only $39, so very affordable. If you read on their website, they explain kind of what type of translation this is, and it basically falls on the formal to dynamic kind of spectrum. It falls closer to the formal translation, word for word translation side. They put it right around similar to the Christian Standard Bible. So they've worked hard to stay accurate and stay as close to the original Greek and Hebrew as possible while doing some of the translation work that is needed, because you can't just translate Greek and Hebrew straight directly into English. So let's go to, before we get into some of the textual differences I want to point out, I want to let you know about the tiers. And this is directly from their website. They have an interlinear Bible that directly follows the Greek and Hebrew. Tier 2 would be a literal translation to take the reader to the core of the Greek and Hebrew meanings. Tier 3 is a modern English study translation. That would be this one, effective for public reading, memorization, and evangelism. And Tier 4 is an emphasized translation to bring out the full meaning and intensity of the original texts. Those definitions and those tiers come directly from their website. I will leave a link, but just to give you an idea that they are coming out with new tiers, and they're constantly refining the translations. They're very open to constructive criticism and to knowledge. If you see something that, email them, and from what I've understood, they'll get back to you and have a conversation about that. It's only available in 2 covers, so that would be the hardcover, blue and eggplant, and the soft cover, burgundy and tan. I've been told that the burgundy is closer to a brown, so they are Smith sewn, okay, and we do get 1 ribbon. So even on a hardcover Bible, they give us 1 ribbon. I don't know if they give us any more on the soft covers or not, because I don't have the soft cover. But this is a fantastic size Bible. It's 9 1/4 by 7 inches by 1 3/4 inches. Okay. It does have a sewn binding, and there's lots of space in the layout. I actually really love the layout. It's a bigger Bible, but there's lots of room. So let's open this up and take a look, and we'll talk about some other things as we're taking a look. So you get a standard title page and the permissions, but I want to point out to you that some of these legal, not issues, but legal statements that they've included. So you can take a pause and read those if you'd like, but it says it can be quoted from, okay? It can be quoted in any form, visual, written, audio, or electronic, up to 2,000 verses without written permission. So you don't have to get written permission. There's no requirements, and they just let you know how to do that. So they want the gospel to be spread. They want the Bible to be read by everybody everywhere. You get a real simple table of contents. It has the 66 books of the canon. It is, by the way, printed in the USA. That's always nice to see. I'm not going to lie. And then it gives you a little bit of an understanding. Completely new translation. It tells you a little bit about that. And it is going to tell you about the tiers. So it mentions the tier system in here, but then we get to the tiers, okay? So preface to the actual Berean translation. And it gives you, and let me see if I can focus a little bit better on these. So it gives you any websites that you might want to go to read more about that. Right there, super easy. These pages is going to be your tiered translation structure. So basically what I just read to you, it's going to explain that. And then some abbreviations that you might want to know. The text. So the Bible will just sit here and we can talk about this. It actually is extremely pleasant to read. There's a lot of space between lines. There's not a ton of words on each sentence, so it's not too squished. What you don't get is a whole lot of room to write in the margins. You get a little bit up top here, but really not much. But you know what? That's okay. If you want to write in the margins, you buy a wide margin, and this is like almost, I'm going to call it a first run. So I more likely than not, they're going to come out with multiple different Bibles, different styles and types as the Berean translation ends up catching speed. But like I said, it's very easy to read. There's not a whole lot of ghosting. This is a good page to show you that, because you can see a little bit of it in the background there, but really not much. The paper is nice and thick. Okay, so my guess is if you started writing, there's not going to be a whole lot of bleed through. And it's pleasant. It honestly is just pleasant. It's pleasant to read. The font that they chose, the layout. I really do like the layout. This is black letter, and it's dual column paragraph format. My guess is, and I guess I could have emailed them. My guess is that this is around an 8 or a 9 point font. I'm going to guess 9, because it's a little on the bigger side, and I really appreciate that. So why a new or a different translation? I'm flipping open to Romans here because we'll go through, at the very least, a couple of the different things to point out that gives you some textual differences. For one, in Romans 1:17, so there's little things that you might pick up on. You might prefer one way or another. Like Romans 1:17 says, "For the gospel reveals the righteousness of God that comes by faith from start to finish." If you read in the ESV here, "For in the righteousness of God is revealed from faith for faith." Very often it's written that way. And you might think, well, I'm not going to buy an entire new Bible just for that one thing. But it's lots of little things like that. Another great example that I really like is that they have chosen to keep the word behold in the text. Anywhere, there's a lot of places throughout Scripture that might say look. It might choose the word look or look and see, but they have chosen to keep with the word behold. And I think that almost that word alone, the word behold carries with it a much more, in my opinion, significant meaning. I understand more what the text is saying, because behold sounds a lot different than look. Another one of these little small variants in the way that they have translated the Greek or the Hebrew into English is using the term Lord of Hosts as opposed to Lord of Armies. And that's important because, again, the words mean something and they carry with it a feeling, an emotion. They carry with it, as English speakers, Lord of Hosts might mean something to you. You might understand it a little differently, a little bigger than just Lord of Armies. So, like I said, the BSB, the Berean Study Bible, this is not a traditional study Bible. You didn't see any notes in there. There are no maps. There's nothing really to show you in the back. This is simply the Bible at this point. It's called the Berean Study Bible because my understanding is the Bereans studied and did a whole lot of studying and researching of Scripture. If you read through that Acts 17, you'll see that. And this is a Bible that we are intended to study from. It is not a study Bible as in the ESV Study Bible or the MacArthur Study Bible, where you're getting a whole bunch of commentary on the text. You do get, where it's necessary, you do get author's notes and little translation notes here or footnotes. But this isn't a traditional, typical study Bible, so I want to make sure you understand that. And it is available in the Bible Hub app. Hey, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns that I didn't cover, leave them down in the comments and I will do my best to answer them for you with the information that I have. If you found value in this video, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. It really helps YouTube put it in front of others who might also be interested in this video or need to see it. So thank you so much. And here's a couple other videos you might be interested in. So check those out. And we have lots more Bible reviews coming up. Bible reviews, resource reviews, and even some devotional ideas that you might get something out of. So make sure you stay tuned. Don't forget, be who you claim to be.